Derange sees them, she immediately identifies the fake officer. On March 1st, 1976, Bundy is sentenced to 15 years in prison for the attempted kidnapping of Carol Derange. The investigation picks up pace, and the police manage to connect him to another case, 23-year-old Karen Campbell. In October 1976, Bundy is sent to Colorado to stand trial again, this time for murder. If only his story ended here. In his second trial, Bundy decides to defend himself in court. He is a law student after all, and a very confident one. For that, Bundy receives slightly more freedom from the judge than other prisoners. A typewriter, a desk, unlimited and untapped phone calls, and access to the law library in the courthouse. There he can move freely without shackles or handcuffs. Bundy's trial is in full swing. During a recess, he goes to the library. His guard is in the hallway, smoking a cigarette. It is a sunny day, the sky is blue, and Ted Bundy jumps from a second-story window. The fall is hard, but after landing, he immediately runs across the street, over a fence, and into an alleyway. From there, he sprints to a river, and from there, straight to the mountains. Bundy planned his escape for weeks, jumping from his bunk bed to strengthen his ankles, going through his exact escape route again and again, putting on a second layer of clothes under his courtroom outfit, practicing how fast he can change, getting a haircut, shaving his beard.
So this is a World of Warcraft hardcore raid. All your abilities and talents are random, and you only get one life. Let's see how far we get. So you get to roll your first 4 abilities, and you can lock in the ones you want. Arcane Intellect and Arcane Missile seems good. Gonna lock in those. Healing Touch is a heal. Seems good. Long seems good. For an melee attack after Arcane Missile seems good. Let's go. I'm gonna skip ahead. The first few levels are just killing wolves. So I made it to level 10.
A woman rushes into the courthouse and informs a guard that she saw a man jumping from one of the windows. The guards immediately sweep the floor. From the moment Bundy leapt from the windows, it takes them 10 minutes to realize he's gone. The police set up roadblocks. They send bloodhounds into the mountains and tell the residents to lock their doors. Radio stations and newspapers quickly cover the escape. 150 policemen are now hunting a killer on the loose. Ted Bundy wanders through the mountains. He has nothing with him, no money, no food, no plan. Only a light shirt and his pants, and since he defended himself in court, a map of the area that was used in the trial. A whole day, he hikes up the grassy hills and by nightfall manages to cross the Aspen Mountain. The next morning, however, is cold and rainy. So instead of wandering further south, he tracks back and finds a small cabin, where he stays for the night. On day 3, Bundy leaves the cabin, now better equipped. He has some food, warm clothes, and a rifle. On this day, the FBI joins the manhunt, bringing in helicopters. Despite the map, Bundy gets lost. When a rainstorm hits, he becomes even more disoriented. The cold is doing the rest. He eventually starts walking in circles and lands back at the cabin. There, he finds tracks of the search party. They're onto him. For 5 full days, Bundy is hiking through the hills. With his ankles swollen and his food running low, he finds himself back in Aspen. His only chance of escape is to find a car. At a golf course, he finally finds an old Cadillac with the keys inside. It's the morning of the 6th day of Bundy's escape. 2 police officers see a Cadillac zigzagging on the road. They stop the car, assuming it's a drunk driver. Instead, they find a sober but weak Ted Bundy. He lost over 20 pounds and barely managed to steer the car. His nose is wrapped in Band-Aid, and he wears glasses, but the officers easily recognize him. He is arrested only 2 blocks from where he jumped out of the window. Back in custody, Bundy now also faces charges for escape. He has to wear shackles and handcuffs when in court. It matters little to him. Almost immediately, he starts planning another escape. A guard brings Ted Bundy a warm meal to his cell and leaves, but Bundy doesn't touch it. Instead, he lifts himself up into a small hole in his ceiling. In the weeks prior, he used a hacksaw he got from another inmate on an already loose light fixture to cut open a hole. To fit in there, he had to lose weight, so he reduced his meal sizes by constantly complaining about the food, as a cover. Bundy is prepared. He accumulated $700 from donations for his defense. In the weeks before his escape, he used the trapdoor regularly, searching for a way out, and he found one. The vent leads to a small apartment of a prison guard. Bundy crawls through the tight shaft. When he reaches the apartment, he hears voices. The guard and his wife are eating dinner. Bundy just sits there, waiting for his opportunity. The woman says, "Let's go to a movie tonight." "Sure, why not?" the guard replies. A few minutes later, the door slams shut, and Bundy drops into the apartment's bedroom. He puts on a pair of blue jeans